What up, what up, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Shakes the Great, back with another one. So check this out, man. This one is inspired by a group of ladies I had a conversation with recently, who are all Christian, by the way, and who all were happy that KS croaked so soon. I mean, they all had coughing or Viagra jokes, dawg. And I can't lie, some of them things was kind of funny. But bruh, I would never, for the life of me, understand. And I never understood the Kevin Samuels Slander. I mean, besides him and creators like Anton Daniels, nobody on Black YouTube promotes the nuclear family.
A family is what?
Mother, father, children.
Right. And in order for men to have wives and children, and have a family, they must have women who think like wives. Women like you think like individuals and baby mamas. And a fractured mind is useless to a man who wants to build. Men who are looking to build cannot plant their seed in contaminated soil.
I feel like as the Black community, we were doing way better before.
We were doing way better when our women understood their role.
Before
integration. And this right here,
it's not
integration is before you guys chose yourselves over the community. So now it's time for Black men to choose themselves over you. This is why Black men, you need to understand, you cannot choose a woman who does not want to be your partner. That's the bottom line. I'm being honest, man. You had just like you chose the man you chose, you also had men who were suitable that you likely didn't choose.
No.
Nobody promotes marriage without it being one-sided. You either got dudes like Yada that's panders to Black women all day, every day, or dudes like Angry Man. Well, the name says it all, Jack. There's a lot of dudes out here just angry, bitter, and mad at Black women, and who've they become post-feminism, dog? So what was Kevin all about? What was his objective at the end of the day? Well, from my point of view, his objective was to get Black women and Black men dating again with purpose and eventually married. He always spoke about men knowing who their wives were instantly and how it should only take 6 months to a year to lock in. I mean, personally, bruh, I don't agree with that rhetoric, and I will make a separate video on things I didn't agree with regarding Kevin Samuels' philosophy, but back to the subject. He exploded on the scene by being himself and being a bit overly critical to both Black women and Black men. That was just his personality, bro. Let's keep it honest. I think we just focus on the overemphasis of Black women because, let's be honest, those were the best shows. Black women tuned in and called in by the boatload. Meanwhile, Black men donated hundreds of dollars to voice their opinions on the callers as Kevin Samuels kept downing his Red Bull and kept that show going with question after question, making example after example of caller after caller.
He's being verbally violent and emotionally abusive, and he responds with his hands. Is that fair play?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Because men are physically stronger than women, and a real man will walk away
Thank you. That's at the root of everything, gentlemen. Ladies, that's at the root of everything. You're a woman that believes that men are stronger and men should walk away. Then if that's the case, then you should keep your mouth closed and not incite a man. Because you can't whoop his ass. But how many women do that? Why wasn't she a real woman and just run away? Why'd she hit back? What sense does it make to agitate somebody who you cannot defend yourself against?
No sense.
A lot of people claim he was degrading and embarrassing women, as if the women didn't call in themselves. As if the women's expectations were sensible or sincere. I mean, let's keep it real, keep it a buck. Delusional after delusional woman being told she's too fat, too old, too crazy, had too many children, or too many bodies to qualify for a high-value man. Yet even after he broke it down and provided data showing them, hey lady, there's not many of those guys going around, why not just pick a guy on your level? They didn't give not one F. They stuck to their guns and said the powerful line most women use, I deserve. That line should be banished from society, by the way. That's my opinion. But anyways, I mean, you can like what you like, dog. You can want what you want, but we have to ask ourselves, are we in the right place and in the right mind, or even in the right season to receive our requests? Personally, I think all the hate stems from one thing and one thing only. The way he said what he said. His delivery to y'all, I can imagine, was like an intense battle rapper spitting bars while literally spitting in his opponent's face with every line. I've come to realize that you ladies rather hear the beautiful lies than to hear the unadulterated, unfiltered, unconcentrated truth.
This man was a hypocrite, in my honest opinion. He really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African-American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, he was a shock jock. And, you know, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality, rest in peace.
Kevin Samuels got hate on top of hate for telling the truth in a harsh and sarcastic manner. You don't want to hear things like, what's your dress size? Okay, how tall are you? You may be a little on the heavy side. That's not healthy, and men don't like that. You want to hear, you're fine the way you are, baby. You're fine just the way you are, and that ain't fat, baby. You just a little curvy, and that's okay. You don't want to hear that, hey, you got a disagreeable attitude, and that's undesirable when it comes to men. Men like a feminine woman, an agreeable woman, and easy to get along with, won't stress you out type of woman. Ladies, all bro was telling you is black men aren't looking for a woman they can handle or a strong black woman. They are looking for a black woman they can love, and that will be their peace. That's all. Don't let a person's delivery dilute the message. In the same way you shouldn't let a person's laid-back delivery, passive attitude, and loving personality be an indicator that they or their message is a good thing. So when it comes to Kevin Samuels, I can't tell you how and what to think of him, but the most I can say is take the meat and spit out the bones. A good message is a good message regardless of who the messenger is or how the message was delivered. Just a little something to chew on. Y'all help the channel by liking the video and clicking that subscribe button, man. Already.